Hello my friends, and welcome to our next camping adventure. Cheers to you folks. I feel pretty fortunate. We got a pretty decent day weather-wise, but that's all about to change. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So right now, my friends, so I'll buckle up. Y'all grab a beverage of choice. I'll get Red going. Let's get going down that campground. Appreciate y'all coming along. Y'all take care, and I'll see you when we get there. Let's go. All right, my friends, we got Red situated, and here's our campsite for tonight. It's pretty nice. We've got a great view. Holy catfish. But one thing I want to mention, that's why I like camping this time of year, or it's becoming my favorite time. We've got one neighbor over there, and that's it. This campground is almost deserted. Holy cow. All right, my friends. Well, I think first thing we're going to do is get some power over to Red and get some coffee made. And then we'll have a seat. Appreciate y'all hanging in there. Y'all take care, and, well, we'll catch up directly. Make sure it's mostly level. Let's see if we can find us a nice place to sit down, my friends. Cheers to you, my friends. Oh my gosh. Just been sitting here listening to the birds. There's quite a few birds out. They've kind of settled down now. But it's a pretty nice day, and that's all about to change. But it's pretty peaceful here in the campground, that's for sure. Oh, and to let you know, now I do not often let everybody know what campground I'm camping in. But on this trip, we're at Lake Monroe, the Paintown campground. Now this is the time of year, this is the only time of year I camp in this campground. Holy catfish, it gets crowded. And the sites are just about right on top of each other. So, well, we're here today, and we'll probably revisit this campground, maybe a couple, 3 times during the winter and early spring months when there's really no crowd here. Oh my gosh, but this is a pretty nice day. Oh, and speaking of that, it's all about to change, my friends. Holy catfish. Winter is coming in a big way here, to just not too much longer. We've got the weather outlook says we got rain coming, and followed with some freezing rain, and then some snow, maybe a little more rain and a little more snow. So, oh my gosh, there's going to be a huge difference between this little camping adventure and our next one when we get to a campground. I'm pretty certain of that. Oh, there goes the birds again. Oh my gosh, that's kind of nice. All my friends, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all coming along on this little camping adventure. I think it's going to be a pretty nice one. And this might be our last day of really good weather. We'll see how it goes. So, here's to you, my friends. We got a good hour and a half or so before we can get dinner going. Oh, dinner. Oh my gosh, I completely spaced out. Tonight I'm going to be making homemade, well, campground version, homemade red beans and rice. Now, I've made that before at camp, but typically I do the Zatarans, the little box mix, but nope, we're going to go all out tonight. So my friends, again, appreciate y'all hanging in there. Y'all take care, and we'll catch up about dinner time. Refill. My friends, I hope the camera's picking that up. But with the angle of the sun, there's a whole bunch of spider webs in the tree. You can see them just dancing around. That's pretty neat. All right, my friends, well, I got everything carried over here. I still have to level out the stove and all that yet, but what I want to do first is get our sausage cut up. We have here is Cajun style andouille smoked sausage. So we'll get that out of the package. Try to. Oh, there goes somebody. Haven't seen anybody. And we're working on a slope. That's just my luck. I always get the sloped campsites. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this up into bite-sized pieces and put it in here. And just somebody just cruising around the campground. And they're friendly. All right. Now, everyone's definition of bite size is a little different. So what I typically do, cut off a section and then just split it right down the middle. Like that. And then start cutting away. And this is also going to be for my leftovers, so this all works out. All right, my friends, I'm going to get our sausage cut up, and then I'm going to work on getting our stove leveled out, and we'll get to cooking. Appreciate y'all hanging in there. All right, my friends, we're at an odd angle because we're fighting the sun, and I'm trying to keep the glare off the camera. So we're going to go ahead and get this going. Oh, first thing I'm going to do is take about a tablespoon, not a lot, but just a little bit of olive oil. Well, I guess that's closer to a teaspoon, I suppose. That on there. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to brown up our sausage. we're going to do is we're going to brown up our sausage really nice, get some good color on it, we'll put it back in our container, and then we'll continue on with the recipe. Oh my goodness. All right, my friends, well, I turned the heat off and let the pan cool off just a little bit. We've got all our andouille out of there. Cover that up. Now we're going to throw in there, what I have here is, I'm going to use a whole bag, 10 ounces. This is the seasoning, this is part of our campground shortcuts. It has onions, celery, red and green peppers in it with some bonus parsley flakes. We're going to use the whole bag. And what I did was I cut the top off because these things are full of moisture, so I drained it off pretty good. And with that, 1 tablespoon of butter. Which I brought 1 tablespoon. If I can get it out of this little wrapper. Perfect. All right, throw my trash away. We'll fire this joker back up. There we go. And we've got all that, all the, I guess, drippings from the andouille sausage are still in there. So this is going to flavor this up pretty nicely. Pardon me. All right, my friends, I'm going to work on this, and we've got 2 more things, well, several things to throw in here yet, but we'll be back shortly. Come here, you. All right, my friends, these are coming along pretty nicely. So now, well, they're pretty soft. So I'm going to add roughly a teaspoon of garlic. This is just minced garlic. There we go. Got a quick stir. And then on top of that, I have, instead of cooking a bunch of bacon, I picked up a bag of fully cooked real bacon pieces. It's a 2.5 ounce bag. So we're going to add some of that in there. That's pretty good. That looks about right. What I'm shooting for is about 3 pieces. So let me heat this up a little bit, and then we'll get our beans in there. All right, my friends, here's our campground red beans and rice shortcut number 2. We're using canned red beans. I mean, when you make them at home, you get your red beans and you have to soak them overnight and so on and so forth. This is just a quicker way to do it. So we're gonna take, if I can get that off my finger, we'll take our first can here. Well, I'm gonna drain off the first can. Try not to step in that later. Dump that in there. Now at this point, I forgot to bring a potato masher, so I have a fork. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break up some of these beans in here. So give me a second to do that. All right, that's pretty good. Good enough, I suppose. Not trying to smash them all. I just want to get, you know, a good number of them kind of broken up. Then we'll take our other can of beans. And this one we won't drain. I can get my, oh Lord have mercy. There we go. We got an active dog. It's not in the campground. There's a lake back here, and it's on the other side of the lake. Give this a mix. And now, chicken broth. Come here, you. Sun's setting quick. Hopefully get to eat before dark. I think we'll make it. And then I put in enough chicken broth to get them pretty well covered. Let's see how that worked out. That's pretty good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to let this simmer for probably a good 10-15 minutes, and we'll throw our our andouille back in there. Oh, I misspoke, my friends. We're going to bring it up to a boil and then take it back to a simmer. Pardon me. Now at this point, it's been simmering here for a few minutes, and we're ready to get our sausage in here. But at this point is when I add my little additional seasonings, because the andouille sausage, the Cajun style, has a pretty good bite to it. But what I have here is just simply a teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of dried thyme. I'm going to mix that in there. And then we're going to put our sausage in. And then we're going to let it simmer. If I can get the lid open. There we go. Try to keep from splashing here. Perfect. There we go. Now at this point, all you want to do is you want to simmer it until it gets to the thickness that you like. So it's going to be simmering here for a bit. And we still have some rice to make. And I'll get that on the boil here directly. Turn the heat up just a little bit more. Whoop, wrong way. Need a napkin. All right, my friends, we're ready to throw our rice in. It's just instant rice. Got about a cup. Put that in there. There we go. Cover it up. Now here in about 8 minutes, we'll be ready to plate. Oh, I hope I'm not stepping out of the camera. Here in about 8 minutes, we'll be ready to plate up. All right, my friends, let's dig in. I'll let it sit here and cool for a couple minutes. It's still pretty warm. Let's try it out. Oh man, that's good. Definitely, that sausage definitely has a kick. Well, my apologies for the angle. The sun is setting right behind us, so I'm trying to keep the glare out of the camera best I can. All right, my friends, well, I'm definitely gonna tear into this, have me another plate, and we'll definitely get that campfire going before I even consider cleaning up around here. We're running out of daylight fast. Oh my gosh. But anyway, my friends, appreciate you hanging in there. Y'all take care, and we'll catch up after dinner. That's good stuff. Ooh. It's making my nose run. That is good stuff, though. Oh my gosh, that's a good dinner, my friends. We gotta get this campfire going because we don't have a whole lot of daylight left. And I already checked the fire pit and it's pretty wet, so a little assistance. Let's see. Nose is still running. That's some spicy dinner. We've had several people driving through the campground. Somebody's just recently parked over there. I think they got some kids with them. They're not camping, they're just, I guess, just visiting the park. There we go. Hey, back up there. I need to refill my kindling box. Yep. All right, my friends, I'm going to tend to this and get this dinner mess cleaned up. Y'all take care, and we'll catch up directly. Oh, and I'm going to make some coffee too. Cheers to you, my friends. Oh, holy catfish, that was a good dinner. My nose is still running a little bit. I'll tell you what, that Cajun style andouille sausage, it's got some bite to it. That's my opinion. Oh my goodness. But it did remind me of why in the past, when I would make that at the campground, using the boxed version, it's a matter of time. Especially nowadays when we don't have that much daylight. Oh my gosh. But, well, our campfire's being a little cantankerous, but I'll doctor that joker up here in a little bit. Right now, I'm going to enjoy this coffee and just sit here and enjoy some of this peace and quiet. Oh, in my opinion, that's one of the benefits of going in the off season is you just about have a run of an entire campground. There may be, 2, 3 people in the entire campground besides yourself. That's pretty nice. Oh my gosh. But haven't really seen a critter to speak of. There was a squirrel dancing around earlier, but he was way off over there. Couldn't get a camera on him. But in all, this has been a really nice trip. Well, my friends, like I said, I'm going to stoke this fire up. And I'm just going to kick back and, I would say let the night take hold, but it's already starting to take hold. Well, everybody out there, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate y'all coming along on my little camping adventures. I truly do. This is a nice one. Just a chance to probably enjoy the last nice day of the season. I hope not, but man, that weather's going to turn brutal here in a few days. That's for sure. But we will prepare for it. So everybody out there, y'all take care, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, campers. Cheers to you, my friends. Well, we about polished off our first cup of coffee. That's pretty nice. warming me up because it is a chilly morning. Well, let me rephrase that. It's a frosty morning. Holy catfish. I couldn't believe it. I got out of red this morning and the whole front end is just frosted over. I was surprised. Oh my gosh. And then I thought the sun was going to peek out this morning, but nope. We got a whole bunch of clouds moving in. So we're going to have a typical gray Indiana day. So I feel pretty fortunate we got out yesterday. I mean, the temperatures were pretty decent. And hopefully that's not the last day we have some decent temperatures, but with the weather forecast is coming up, it may be a while. But it is what it is. Oh, but yesterday was really nice. We had a great dinner. And again, I used the Cajun style andouille sausage. I mean, you can use any type of sausage you want to, but that's already got quite a bit of spice to it, in my opinion. So I don't put a whole lot in the, I guess the whole chicken broth, red bean concoction there. But if you feel free to spice it up any way you want to. Maybe you add a little bit more Cajun seasoning, and or after you plate it up, take your favorite hot sauce and throw a couple of dashes on top of it. That should do it. Oh my goodness. Well, my friends, I'd have to say, this has been a pretty good camping trip. So I just want to tell everybody out there, appreciate y'all coming along on my little camping adventures. I truly do. So here's to you, my friends. I'm gonna kick back here and have me another cup of coffee before I get red packed up and warmed up. So everybody out there, y'all take care, and as always, I'll see you soon.